This is the Mazda CX-5.
And I used to own a Mazda 3. And if you'd like to learn more about that vehicle, you can tap the I in the right corner here. But now I own the CX-5 because I needed more room for, we'll say, various activities. You see, I have 2 kids. We like to go camping. We like to do things outside of the house. And we need more room.
This is AutoLab.
2 guys reviewing cars and filming whatever happens in the process.
If you like what you see, subscribe and check out all of our other social media.
Chances are, if you clicked on this video, that means one of 2 things. You either want to buy a CX-5 or you just really love AutoLab. Thank you, by the way. You're one of 700. And subscribe if you haven't already.
So why should you choose this over its competitors like the Toyota RAV4 or the Kia Seltos?
I wasn't kidding earlier when I said I own this car. Me and my wife needed more room. And to make this simple, if you love the Mazda 3, you'll love the CX-5. It's a similar interior, slightly less performance, and a whole lot more room. But if you want to know what makes this car special, stick around. It helps us with the algorithm.
All right, so Dylan finally got back from vacation and he finally tossed me the keys to his CX-5 that he bought, 2 weeks ago, I think? He told me to go ahead and give you guys our first impressions for this video, and there are a few thoughts that I have. First thing is the steering. While it is electronically assisted, it communicates rather well. It is nice and loose on center, but it kind of firms up when you take corners. Another thing is the suspension. It's really supple, but it absorbs the bumps in a really nice way. In the chassis, it doesn't feel that heavy. When you go into corners, there's really no feeling of oversteer or understeer. However, since it is an SUV, it does have a decent amount of body roll.
A lot of the things that Matt just mentioned are reasons why I chose this over the competitors. In essence, it drives just like a Mazda 3, which is great. But unlike the Mazda 3 that I had, it's bigger, it has more cargo space, it's all-wheel drive. But I mostly want to talk about its cargo space. As shown earlier, there's enough room for illicit activities. But what about real-world application?
Yeah, like if you're late for a flight. All right, well.
Looks like you're gonna have to leave these things.
It's fine, it's not that important anyways.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Truth is, while this car is only 30.9 cubic feet of trunk space with the seats up, it still feels pretty spacious. Unfortunately, when it comes to its competition, it does fall short. That being said, you still have plenty of space for luggage, people, groceries, you name it. Is that Matt? I thought you had a flight to catch.
Yeah, I got the date wrong.
Oh no.
Yeah, and this homeless guy stole my luggage. You don't care.
I don't. That sucks. Anyway, let's talk about what this car can do when your friend has to have a ride based on his own incompetence.
Yeah, your shame-filled friend can kind of sit back here, have plenty of leg room, although the seats could be more comfortable considering that Mazda was doing stuff with other cars. Mazda 3.
You're right. Now, the Mazda 3 did have much more comfortable seats.
Yeah, it does.
A lot more cushion. These are stiffer.
Way stiffer. I mean, at least I got plenty of headroom.
Yeah, you do have lots of headroom, especially up here because of the sunroof. Now, the thing is, though, this car has what I'll call Mazda's older interior. The Mazda 3 at the same time had their newer approach to the interior, which was a bit nicer.
It was.
That's not to say that this interior is bad.
Yeah, you still get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto.
You do.
Heated, ventilated seats.
You do, yeah, and heated steering wheel.
Oh, yeah.
Not this car specifically, but it does offer that.
Yep.
You know, heads-up display, all the same stuff that the Mazda 3 offers. Actually,
Bose
this car.
audio.
What?
Bose audio.
Bose audio, you're right. The Mazda 3 is a little better with the Bose audio, and that's just because of the placement of the speakers.
Yeah. Sedans will always sound a little bit better.
Yeah, and then the Mazda 3 also got rid of, at least the 4th gen Mazda 3, got rid of the speaker in the door.
Yeah.
To stop the door rattling. This still has a speaker in the door. That being said, the styling is just fine.
Styling still looks just as modern as any other Mazda out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not so bad. The thing is that at this time, we're talking this year, same year as the Mazda 3 that we had, this car still had the older Mazda infotainment, which is
a little bit of a downgrade.
It's not the same as the Mazda 3 was. It was just more streamlined, more modern looking. This is more cluttered. It looks almost like a teenage version of the adult infotainment in the Mazda 3.
It really does.
And it's smaller, obviously, not widescreen. The Apple CarPlay is just fine. The nice thing is that this is a touchscreen when the car stopped.
Yeah, but it's still kind of annoying that it's not touchscreen all the time.
Yeah, you're right. You start moving and suddenly the touchscreen just becomes a screen that you have to use with, and I'm about to say it, the knob that you just love so much.
I hate the knob so much. I hate that stupid dial that you have to spin and twist and, finagle just to maneuver the screen.
And then the buttons, all the buttons.
Yeah.
Now, me and Dylan could talk about this for as long as we wanted to, but it's time we get into what really matters.
But what about safety? This car has a 5-star rating for both the driver and the passenger in a collision, as well as a 4-star rollover rating. Overall, it's 5 stars, so you know it's going to be safe in the winter on the ice. It'll be safe on the road if you get into an accident.
In the market of all-wheel drive SUVs, the CX-5 is definitely a top contender. It's comfortable, spacious, and it looks great.
And the Mazda CX-5 is great on gas too. It has a 28 combined miles per gallon for both city and highway. It may not be the best in its class, but it's still pretty damn good. This is partly due to its 2-cylinder deactivation system. This car is equipped with Mazda's 2.5-liter, 187 horsepower Skyactiv G engine. It's the same engine found in the Mazda 3 that we've reviewed before. This means that 2 of the cylinders of this 4-cylinder will deactivate, making it run as a 2-cylinder to actually save you some gas under light load situations. And it does it quite well without any lack of performance.
Mazda is the only car manufacturer that produces a 4-cylinder engine with cylinder deactivation for the North American market. And I have to say, it is a fine engine. It's reliable, it's fuel efficient, and it's damn smooth.
Did you really just say, and I quote, the engine is damn smooth?
How did you know I just said that?
I saw it in post. Either way, it's not that smooth.
I think it's smooth.
It's not. How do you feel about the 2-piston deactivation or the all-wheel drive system re-engaging and, engaging and all that stuff? Really? No comment?
Okay, he's right. There is a bit of hesitation when the all-wheel drive system engages. It's almost like a judder. I've looked it up. It's a typical thing. There's nothing that can be done about it. But what's a car without quirks?
And that's where I come in to tell you that this car has a big one. Do you see that the rear door handles are higher than the front ones?
That's your really big quirk?
Yeah. Look at it.
Anyway, let's talk about the exterior styling.
Well, it's great. I mean, honestly, if you like the Mazda 3, you'll like this one.
Well,
it's really not that bad.
It's very similar in a lot of ways.
It is very similar.
I mean, the hood, identical with the lines. The grille, very similar. Biggest differences here, right, are going to be sides of the grille is a little smaller, but I think it fits.
It fits it, but unlike the Mazda 3 was really big for the car, but it fits this car a lot better, in my opinion.
I do think one kind of thing is, I think you can see it over here, is this sensor logo, because the grille is a lot smaller in this car than the Mazda 3.
It's a lot bigger,
bigger. Kind of pig snouty. That's just a little thing.
Yeah.
Right? The LED lights.
The LED lights are really cool. You mentioned something about the halogens, though.
Yeah, so at night, they will turn based on where you're turning.
Okay.
I think it's the right one will turn if you're turning right, left one if you're turning left.
Yep.
And it just helps kind of illuminate the turns as you go down the road. Not a big cool feature, but it's kind of neat.
It is very
honestly,
neat.
and it's helpful when you're going down.
Yeah.
Mirrors are huge, just like every other Mazda.
Which is nice because it has good visibility when you're trying to look down the road or anything like that.
Yeah.
I actually really like the sides of this car. It's, you know, the car wasn't out when this car came out, the CX-90. But
Yes.
it kind of looks like the CX-90 in a way, where you have this giant wall that goes straight down.
Yeah, right. Like this line is a straight line,
Yes.
just like the Mazda 3, though. It's the same way, and that's just kind of that kudo design language that Mazda does.
Yeah, and it's all-wheel drive, so if you do want to go off-roading or anything like that, they put these plastic fenders here that, or whatever these things are called, plastic little trim pieces to kind of protect the paint, make sure it doesn't get chipped up or anything like that, which some people like, some people hate. I'm not a fan of them. I wish it was body-colored.
Yeah, and I think that's something you mentioned about the CX-30 is you didn't like because those are thick.
Yeah.
Those are real thick on that car.
They are.
Other than that, you've heard it all before if you've seen our Mazda 3 video.
Yeah,
It's
honestly.
similar
Which you should check
design.
out.
Yeah, you should definitely check it out right over here. It's similar design, just a little bit bigger, a little bit taller, and some slight changes. Other than that,
And even the rear looks pretty good as well.
the rear does look good. Some people call it bubbly with its roundness, but I like it.
Yeah, it fits the car.
It does. And
So-
then obviously back on the rear, the same thing I like about these headlights is on the rear, the LEDs. So that's about it.
I mean, the looks are good, but, you know, that's not really why you bought the car.
It's not why I bought the car.
So why did I buy this car? We had an entire segment planned to answer just that, but Matthew is sick. Thanks for that, Matt. Anyway, it's no secret that I love this brand, which is partly why we reviewed 4 separate Mazdas and even took the time to fix and re-upload one of them. I explained why I love this brand in each one of those videos, so I won't go into it now. But the reason that I bought this car specifically, going from my Mazda 3, was because of its all-wheel drive system. Now, the system in this car is one of the best on the market. Apart from it being a little rough when it engages and disengages, it works amazingly in getting you out of sticky situations or slippery situations, which is exactly what you want an all-wheel drive vehicle to do. Now, unfortunately, like I said, we had an entire segment dedicated just to showing off how good the all-wheel drive system is in this car. Apart from Matt being sick, we did also run out of production time because we have started production on our Lancia versus Audi Rev Rewind video. So make sure you subscribe for that one. Thanks for watching. This is AutoLab.